There was no Klay Thompson by his side. Kevin Durant had long departed for Brooklyn. Draymond Green has long been reluctant to shoot. The Warriors relied on Steph more than ever. His usage rate of 33.1% is the highest of his career by a wide margin, and just a hair lower than Michael Jordan's in his final Bulls season in 1998. And like those Bulls relied on Jordan, these Warriors relied on Steph Curry.
Really quick, before I begin, if you guys can smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, this seriously makes a huge difference to my videos and lets YouTube know to recommend this video to a brand new audience. So thank you so much for doing that, and let's begin.
And a lot of virtual and very real ink has been spilled on Steph's scoring exploits this past season. How he averaged a career high 32 points during his age 32 season, including 37.2 points per game during the Warriors' 15-5 sprint to the play-in tournament. How he won the second scoring title of his career after winning his first during his unanimous MVP season in 2016. How he added muscle, how he added core strength, and how years of logged experience contributed to a version of Steph better than we've ever seen. And of course, the three-point shooting was there too. He made 42% of his career-high 12.7 attempts per game. He took 80 more three-pointers than any other player in the league, and he made 55 more of them. As the NBA trends toward higher volume and efficiency of three-point shooting, Steph has remained ahead of pace by a comfortable margin. Steph's percentage from deep was nearly 6 percentage points better than the best ever league-wide average this season of 36.7%. But what sets this version of Steph apart from those previous models is how he scored efficiently against defenses that were committed to taking away his shots. There was no Klay Thompson by his side. Kevin Durant had long departed for Brooklyn. Draymond Green has long been reluctant to shoot. The Warriors relied on Steph more than ever. His usage rate of 33.1% is the highest of his career by a wide margin, and just a hair lower than Michael Jordan's in his final Bulls season in 1998. And like those Bulls relied on Jordan, these Warriors relied on Steph Curry. His 1.13 points per possession on isolation attempts ranked in the 91st percentile in the league. That's really good. He also ran the pick and roll at the highest rate, nearly 28% of his possessions of his career, and he scored, again, a very efficient 1.13 points per chance. When you look at that kind of rating over 100 possessions, that's one of the best offensive ratings in the NBA. But the most glaring improvement is how Steph perfected his floater game. Steph shot 53% between 3 and 10 feet on the court this season. His previous high, according to basketballreference.com, was 48.8%. His career average is 43.2%. So he shot 10% better in that 3 to 10 feet from the basket range than he did on his career average. And that was the part of the floor where Steph often went to his floater, a tricky shot that requires a high level of core stability and touch. And this is the way, when you see defenses crowd him as he crosses half court above the three-point line, they'll double him, they'll triple him, and he'll have to scurry out of those double and triple teams and towards the basket and to the basket. And at the basket, what is waiting for him most often? A 7-foot center who is backpedaling, just trying to take away the rim from Steph. And so he had to learn at 6'3", at his stature, to get shots over those guys when you have players chasing him from behind and then waiting for him by the basket to take away the most efficient shots on the floor. Well, he turned that mid-range area, typically an inefficient area, into one of the most efficient areas on the floor for him. Again, 53% from 3 to 10 feet away from the basket this season. And at 33 now, Steph has successfully built himself into one of the most efficient scorers at every level of the floor. This is not just three-point shooting, and it's not even just finishing at the basket. It's at every part of the floor. You can't take anything away from Steph because he will find something else to get to. The Warriors need him to keep it up if they're going to return to the playoffs next season. As far as what went wrong for Steph, that was largely out of his control. He had a tailbone injury in Houston. That was later revealed to be a fracture in that tailbone. That sidelined him for 5 games that month. Golden State went 1-4 during that stretch, and if Steph had not gotten hurt, the Warriors may have avoided the play-in tournament altogether and made the playoffs, and who knows what would have happened then. Instead, Steph's all-time campaign was squandered. unable to bounce back from a last-second loss to the Lakers, the Warriors fell to the Grizzlies in a final play-in game to miss the postseason for the second straight season. But if the Warriors can take anything away from this 2020-21 season, it's that Steph is still squarely in his prime, and they must do all they can to surround him with the talent that he needs to return to contention next year. The Warriors will get Klay back. Draymond is being encouraged to score more. Steph will be back in the lab. What will he and his longtime trainer Brandon Payne come up with there? Who knows? The Warriors may lean more into his pick and roll next season, especially if James Wiseman is to play a more prominent role. Steph may also continue to stretch the limits of his game and the game in general by building his endurance and taking even more three-pointers than ever. Today, as teams continue to take more and more threes, why shouldn't Steph shoot 15 threes per game? 12.7 last year, why not 15? If anybody can do it efficiently, it's Steph. Whatever he does, the Warriors will need to surround him with the proper help. Two-way players adept at playmaking and defending. In other words, guys who can get Steph the ball and get the ball back. Even as Steph refines his game with age, the formula has never changed. This past season proved that, and there's no reason for the Warriors front office to reinvent the wheel now.